How do you trust God when life isn't fair? It's a question that haunts us in our darkest moments. When tragedy strikes, when dreams collapse, when the world feels unjust, faith is tested. You did everything right, yet you're left standing in the ruins asking, where is God in all this? The storm didn't just rain, it swept everything away. Injustice and pain seemed to rule, and the rules you thought you knew no longer apply. These moments raise the hardest questions. Is God in control? Does he care? Why does he allow suffering? These aren't new struggles. For centuries, people of faith have wrestled with them. The Bible doesn't hide from this dilemma. It meets us in our pain and confusion. It acknowledges life's unfairness and gives voice to our deepest sorrows. We're invited to bring our brokenness and doubts to God. He can handle them. The journey through suffering isn't about pretending, it's about clinging to God when there's nothing else left. His presence becomes our anchor when life's waves threaten to pull us under. We're not alone in this struggle. Let's walk this path together, seeking wisdom that has guided countless souls through their darkest nights. There is hope even when the bottom falls out. The Bible gives us three unique voices for life's hardest questions: Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and Job. Proverbs is the optimist. Live wisely, honor God, and you'll be blessed. It's a world of cause and effect. Ecclesiastes is the realist. He sees that life is unpredictable, sometimes unfair, and often feels meaningless. He calls life hevel, a vapor, fleeting and hard to grasp. Then there's Job, the sufferer. He doesn't just observe the problem, he lives it. Job's story pushes the tension between Proverbs and Ecclesiastes to the limit. Is God still just when a good person suffers for no reason? Job refuses easy answers and demands honesty from God. These three voices don't always agree, but together, they give us a faith deep enough for real life. Their conversation invites us to wrestle with God's justice, not just accept simple formulas. Through them, we learn that faith is big enough for our questions. Job's story begins in the heavens where God calls him blameless and upright. The accuser, Satan, questions Job's motives. Does he love God for nothing or just for the blessings? God allows Job to be tested. His world is shattered in a single day. Job loses his wealth, his servants, and all his children. The pain is unimaginable, yet Job's first response is worship. The Lord gave and the Lord has taken away. May the name of the Lord be praised. Even when his body is afflicted with sores, Job clings to his battered faith. He's lost everything but not his trust in God. The story asks, can faith survive when blessings are gone? Job's grief is raw, but his response is honest. He mourns deeply, but he doesn't turn away from God. In the ashes, Job's faith is tested not by answers, but by loss. His story invites us to bring our pain to God even when nothing makes sense. Sometimes, faith is simply refusing to let go. Job's friends arrive and sit with him in silence for 7 days, a rare act of true compassion. But when Job finally speaks, pouring out his anguish, their comfort turns to accusation. They insist Job must have sinned to deserve such suffering. Their world is simple. Good things happen to good people, bad things to the wicked. Job knows this isn't true. He insists on his innocence. The friends' rigid theology offers no comfort, only more pain. Their easy answers don't fit Job's reality. Job's suffering is too deep for formulas. The debate becomes a battle. Job defends his integrity. His friends defend their view of God. In their effort to explain, they wound him further. Sometimes the best comfort is presence, not explanation. Job's story warns us, don't trade compassion for certainty. Job's dialogue with his friends is raw and real, a roller coaster of faith and despair. He swings between hope and hopelessness, demanding answers from God. His friends cling to their neat theology, but Job wants more than platitudes. He longs for a real encounter with God, not just explanations. Job's cries are bold, even angry, but they're honest. He teaches us that faith isn't the absence of questions, it's refusing to walk away, even in confusion. God can handle our doubts and pain. Job's story gives us permission to wrestle with God, to bring our hardest questions to him. Sometimes faith is holding on when all you have are questions. Job's persistent cry in the darkness is a testament to a living, struggling faith. In the silence, he refuses to let go of God. After endless debate, God finally answers Job, but not with explanations. He speaks from a whirlwind, overwhelming Job with questions about creation and the universe. God never tells Job why he suffered. Instead, he reveals the vastness and complexity of his wisdom. Where were you when I laid the earth's foundation? God asks. The world is bigger and wilder than Job imagined, and God manages it all. God's point: if you can't grasp the universe, can you trust me with your suffering? The answer isn't information, it's an encounter with the Creator. God doesn't dismiss Job's pain, but he invites Job to trust his wisdom. Sometimes the answer to why is simply who. Faith means trusting God's character even when we don't understand his ways. In the whirlwind, Job meets the God who holds all things together. Humbled by God's wisdom, Job's perspective changes. He admits, "I spoke of things I did not understand, things too wonderful for me to know." Job never learns the reason for his suffering, but he finds peace in knowing God. Trusting God isn't about having answers, it's about resting in his character. Job's fortunes are restored, but the real gift is his transformed heart. The story's resolution isn't a reward for endurance, but a deeper trust in God's wisdom. We're called to bring our pain and questions to God, refusing easy answers. We may never know the why, but we can know the who. In trusting God's mysterious wisdom, we find peace that circumstances can't shake. Job's journey teaches us to live with humility and hope, even when life doesn't make sense. Faith is not about certainty, but about relationship. When the puzzle pieces don't fit, we trust the one who holds the whole picture. That's how we find peace, even when life isn't fair.